Okay. Before we get right into this, I have to throw out a couple of disclaimers because I can already tell that some of you guys have seen the title of this video and your mouse is probably hovering over the dislike button right now, or you might be gearing up to be on the keyboard and leaving a lengthy comment like Twiz, what are you talking about? How dare you? Like, what? Outrage! But nope, just a couple of disclaimers just to get us off the bat first. Number one, first and foremost, no, I do not care who you hook up with at a rave or in general. I honestly don't care what you all do in general. You know, as long as you're not, you know, hurting me or affecting me really, or just doing anything too bad to hurt other people. Yeah, I really don't care what you do. So let's get that out. And no, also, second disclaimer, I'm not a prude. I'm not one of those wait till you get wait till you marry before you open your flower or exchange temples or whatever you want to call it. No, I have engaged in I guess what you call it, hookup culture, both at raves and just shows in general, and just one night stands at night in general. So no, I'm not throwing stones knowing that I live in a glass house. I'm not trying to be a hypocrite. I've been there, done that. But this really just comes to mind because over the weekend I went to Electric Zoo Festival, and while I was there, we were inside. I think it was at Main Stage or Hilltop area. Met these group of girls, super cool. We just started talking about the artist we were seeing. I forgot who was playing at the time. But the next thing I know, the conversation just snowballed from just introducing ourselves to hooking up. With my opinions and thoughts about it, like aside, even amongst the girls, they kind of agreed on certain things, but then disagreed on certain things too, which I found really interesting. Because again, like the one girl who had her boyfriend who wasn't there at the festival at the time, they had met at a festival, so she was pretty much pro rave hooking up. One girl was kind of apathetic towards it, and the other girl was kind of I think she kind of like shared my views a little bit more, and I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, it was just really interesting because I pretty much had like this kind of unspoken thing in the back of my mind that when it comes to just like hooking up and stuff like that, especially at raves, people were generally on the same page. As well, as you can tell from the title of the video, it's not really something that I would personally recommend. But that, again, that's not to say that I am against it or just no, don't do it all, or not to say that I'll probably never ever do it again. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. It's just something that I'm not really into anymore, or at the very least, definitely not doing it as much, or that's definitely not the sole or one of like the goals on my mind, like whenever I go to a festival. And there's a couple of reasons. So first and foremost, this is kind of I guess you might call me weird, that's okay, but this is just me personally. When it comes to hooking up and just, you know, knocking boots with a girl, I'm really more, I like good hygiene. And not just with her, like with me obviously too. I'm really hygienic when it comes to, well, just interacting with people in general. Like I would feel like weird and gross just having like a normal conversation with someone, knowing that like I was just stinky and musty and sweaty. So yeah, hygiene is like a really big thing, especially again, like you're at a festival from God knows how long, at least 6 to 7 hours, something like that. And you're all just sweaty and just musty and just kind of, I don't know, it just feels weird for me. And I know what some of you might be thinking, well, Twiz, like, chances are you guys are, like, probably drunk. Drunk people hook up all the time. They don't really notice things like that. You're just tripping. And, yeah, that's a nice little segue, because that's another issue, I would say, is drugs and alcohol. Drugs and alcohol, adding that into the equation can make things way more complicated. Again, there's a lot of factors with it. Depends on who you are. It depends on who the person you're hooking up with is. Your environment, your settings, is just what you're taking, what you're drinking. Yeah, I just tend, and again, this isn't just like for rave culture or music festivals. This is just like, you know, even going a night out at the bar, your local bar. I tend to just kind of like stay away from it. Have I had a drunk hookup before? Like, yeah. Was it fine? Was it both consensual? Like, yeah, totally fine. But I've just seen like too many stories in the past where things can go south, because again, once you add in drugs and alcohol, that's when things can start to get cloudy when it comes to just things like consent and what was mutual, what was not mutual, and it can get kind of scary for, you know, everyone involved, especially if you're a guy, because you might be at risk of catching the hashtag. I don't even know her!
It doesn't matter. You're a man, so you're a rapist by default. You sick fuck. I have a daughter. Put your goddamn hands behind your back.
Also, third thing, I kind of see it as like, you know, they don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like, a lot of the late girls here at these shows and stuff like that, they are drop dead gorgeous, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I see you. The eye candy is sweet, super sweet. Not denying that whatsoever. But yeah, call me a loser, call me old fashioned, but you know, when I go to these shows and stuff like that, especially as like just as an attendee and not playing somewhere, I really am there for the music, like first and foremost. Well, first and foremost, I would say I'm there just to like experience the whole experience with my friends, and that was definitely the biggest reason this year. This year for Electric Zoo was the first, at least personally, my first rave back since lockdown. So also 9 times out of 10, even if you do meet a girl and she's feeling you too, you're feeling her and it's consensual, 9 times out of 10, she's with her own group of girls and they are not going to let you go anywhere with her. Like, no, it is not happening. And I can see it for like a lot of reasons too. Things that are like, you know, definitely understandable. Like, again, like you're a stranger. They don't know who you are. Even if you've been hanging out with them at the festival for like the whole time, it still can be like kind of risky and stuff like that. And yeah, that's one thing that can come up. Also, and this is actually one of the girls was talking about how oh my god, I thought this was pretty funny. How it could be jealousy depending on what girl you have in your group. She can see that you're like talking to some cute boy or whatever, or he doesn't even have to look good. Like the fact that like she'll be mad at the fact that her homegirl's about to get some action, but she wasn't able to meet anyone at the rave, so she's like, nah, if I'm not getting piped down tonight, you're not getting piped down tonight either. None for me, then none for you. So I swear, that's what she told me. And I'm like, holy crap. And it's funny too, because that whole concept is not foreign to me. I've heard about that, but more in like casual, again, local, like the local dating hemisphere. Never really would expect that from like a rave fam or a rave family member. Like, I didn't think that amount of pettiness would seep into that type of family dynamic.